Caitlin Clark back on the Forbes list, back on top of the Forbes list once again.
By the way, in case you're wondering, Angel Reese is not on this list. As if she should be. Coco Gauff's on here. Serena Williams is on here. But Angel's not here. But Caitlin is.
Forbes has just detonated a bomb in the sports world, naming Caitlin Clark one of its 25 most powerful women. The fallout is fracturing the WNBA, especially around Angel Reese. Clark landed at number 4 overall, higher than Serena Williams, Coco Gauff, Nelly Korda, and even Simone Biles. Let that sink in. She's the highest ranked athlete on the list. And guess who was a conspicuous absence from the ranking? Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark is number 4 on the 2025 Forbes Most Powerful Women in Sports list. She is the highest ranked athlete on the list. The highest ranked athlete on the list. Clark has, in the last 2 years, been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire.
The envy is now a palpable force fracturing the league. This isn't just another ranking, this is a formal power shift. For 2 seasons, players like Reese have dismissed Caitlin as overrated. Now that same player has eclipsed global icons on a Forbes list measuring raw influence, not just popularity, and that is the source of the resentment. Because the inconvenient truth is that Caitlin isn't just a player anymore. She's the economic engine validating their paychecks. Here is where the drama escalates. Angel Reese is not handling this well and denies that Clark earned it. And we're revealing Reese's stunning reaction to Clark's latest award. Before we dissect the fallout, show Caitlin some love in the comments.
So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
Forbes offered no diplomatic language, declaring her the face of a new era in women's sports. Ponder that. The face, not one, of not among. The face. Millions in endorsements, shattered television ratings, ticket websites buckling under unprecedented demand. She is fundamentally redefining what power is in modern sports. And yet, some players still feign ignorance, pretending she's just another WNBA star. Let's be serious. Forbes does not rank just another athlete above Serena Williams and Simone Biles. This is not about stats, though she has them too. It is about influence. The only women ranked above her are billion-dollar executives and team owners. Caitlin Clark is not just raising the bar, she is the bar.
Figure enters the fray. You got to pause and then isolate and compartmentalize and give them the love that they're due. And in this case, it belongs to Caitlin Clark.
There's only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her.
And how did the WNBA officially respond? With a calculated silence that broadcast jealousy louder than any formal statement ever could. Not a single congratulatory post from the league, not one retweet from any team account, except the Indiana Fever, of course. You know why? Because they know Forbes is right. Caitlin Clark is the reason arenas had fans again. She sold out games in markets that used to echo. She packed stadiums that hadn't seen full seats in years. And instead of celebrating her, other players are throwing shade, tweeting platitudes about how everyone brings value. Sure, but only one of you brought millions of new viewers. That is a fundamentally different level of value.
Here it says, Caitlin Clark, guard, Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark has turned her record-breaking college basketball career into early dominance in the WNBA. Her estimated $8.1 million in income for her rookie season with the Indiana Fever was bolstered by big deals with Nike, Wilson, Gatorade, and signals a shift in how female athletes are being valued in the world of professional sports. Last month, the Fever announced that Clark will be sidelined with an injury for the remainder of the WNBA season to focus on her injury, but the injury doesn't change the fact that Clark has, in the last 2 years, been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire.
Forbes didn't just add her name, they presented a detailed case. Their justification: Clark converted a record-breaking college career into immediate professional dominance. The subtext is that her rookie season's impact eclipses what others achieve in a decade. They showcased her brand deals: Nike, Wilson, Gatorade, all top-tier partners doubling down on the Caitlin Clark effect. Let's be clear, those brands don't gamble millions on mediocrity. They invest in cultural forces. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, who spent months trying to invalidate Caitlin's influence, now watches her rival be crowned the face of global women's sports. The frustration is palpable. While Caitlin's profile is featured in Forbes, Reese is online endorsing posts about media bias and manufactured stars. The irony requires no further explanation. Caitlin did not request this spotlight. She commanded it.
Yeah.
What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool. Like, the pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool. I can just hoop. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Forbes placed her at 4th. The 3 names above her are billionaires, and directly beneath them, Caitlin Clark, not yet 24, running women's basketball like a business empire. That is not a flex, it is a revolution. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and a few of her peers are tweeting cryptic complaints like the media crowns who they want. Yes, they do. They crown the one who sells out all of your stadiums.
You just take this lady right here. You may be like, well, Rhodes, who is this? This is Gail Benson. She is the owner of the New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans in the National Football League and in the NBA. The two teams now carry a combined valuation of $8.35 billion. That's billion with a B, by the way. While Benson herself has an estimated net worth of $7.9 billion.
The truth is brutal. Caitlin Clark has transcended her sport to achieve mainstream celebrity. She no longer requires the league's validation. She's headlining charity golf events, national interviews, and talk show circuits. And every time she appears, the WNBA logo follows. That is the true source of Angel Reese's animosity. Caitlin doesn't need the WNBA to make her famous. The WNBA needs Caitlin to stay relevant. And here is the paradox. Her success lifts everyone. When Forbes profiles Caitlin, the WNBA gets mentioned. When her games sell out, ticket sales spike league-wide. When her jersey shatters records, the league's overall merchandise sales rise. She is a rising tide, and she's getting side-eyed for it. That is not rivalry. It is pure resentment. Let's talk facts. Record attendance, Caitlin. Record viewership, Caitlin. The highest merchandise sales in league history, Caitlin again. 1 season, that's all it took. Now Forbes has officially confirmed what was already self-evident. She is not just an athlete, she is a cultural phenomenon. And that is what Angel Reese cannot tolerate, because while Caitlin is breaking records, she is also breaking barriers. Forbes did not honor her for her stats alone. They honored her for her power, the kind of power that rewrites how leagues operate, how fans engage, and how brands invest. Meanwhile, Angel is online, tweeting memes and cryptic comments instead of congratulating the one person who is expanding opportunities for everyone.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, the timing is a masterpiece of irony. The WNBA is in the middle of tense CBA negotiations. Players are demanding higher pay, better revenue shares, and greater recognition. And the very woman proving their market value to advertisers and TV networks just got ranked among the world's most powerful women. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She is the proof of concept. And yet, while Forbes celebrates her, the silence within the WNBA is a vacuum. That is how you know this landed a direct hit, because envy never claps, it scrolls. You can bet Angel and others saw the headline. They just lacked the grace to acknowledge it. Instead, we get the same recycled talking points about unity and equality, while ignoring the one player who actually made equality profitable.
Caitlin Clark is the most powerful woman in not just basketball, but women's sports, all of women's sports. I think more so than Simone Biles, Serena, Coco, all of them. You name it. There is one person that is bringing people to television screens. And that's her on the screen. Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark owes the league nothing. She has transformed the Indiana Fever, one of the smallest markets in sports, into a national phenomenon. She has filled arenas from coast to coast. She's getting a new generation of kids to watch women's basketball again. That's legacy level impact. And she's still just in year 1. So when Forbes names her one of the 25 most powerful women in sports, they're not exaggerating. They're just acknowledging reality. She's doing what no commissioner, PR campaign, or slogan ever could, turning women's basketball into a global conversation.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon.
Remember when Caitlin Clark shattered viewership records?
A silence, a silence, a silence, a silence. And now that she has been officially named one of the 25 most powerful women in sports, the quiet is deafening.
You would think the league would be celebrating her success, but nope, just crickets. Here's the thing, Forbes did not base this on hype or popularity. They analyzed hard numbers, real influence, measurable economic power, brand value, and media reach. Caitlin checked every single box with ease. She's not just playing basketball. She is running a multi-million-dollar empire before even turning 24. She's got Nike pushing her signature shoe, Wilson building her custom basketball line, and Gatorade handing her the spotlight normally reserved for male superstars. Meanwhile, the rest of the league, including Angel Reese, is still tweeting about equal pay while begging the commissioner for raises. The contrast is painful. Let's be honest. This Forbes recognition exposed the truth fans have been shouting for months. The WNBA does not have a marketing problem. It has a jealousy problem. Instead of leveraging Caitlin's global stardom, the league and players like Reese treat her like a threat. They could be celebrating her success as a win for everyone, but instead, they act defensive, trying to control a narrative that is already beyond their grasp. Because you can't manage Caitlin Clark. She is the narrative. She is the reason ESPN started moving WNBA games into prime time. She is the reason Fever jerseys are selling out nationwide. She is the reason kids who never watched women's basketball are suddenly glued to the screen.
Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her? Other than she plays really, really hard, and I liken her game to Moses Malone. Moses Malone was relentless. So it's not that I don't appreciate who she is or how she plays. There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
And Forbes articulated the stakes clearly. Clark's impact transcends the court. They wrote that her success signals a paradigm shift in how female athletes are valued. That's not hyperbole. It is a cultural realignment in motion. She is forcing brands, networks, and even sports executives to rethink their entire calculus for women's sports. And what is Angel Reese doing? Engaging in passive aggression. You'll find veiled critiques on social media, vague posts about other powerful women who lack media attention. Sure, but none of them are filling an 0-0-0-seat arena on a random Tuesday night. The resentment is no longer subtext. It is the text, and people forget this kind of spotlight comes with insane pressure. Caitlin isn't just trying to win basketball games. She is carrying the entire league's reputation on her shoulders. Every word, every expression gets dissected. When she's quiet, they call her ungrateful. When she celebrates, they call her cocky. She can't win in their eyes, but she is still winning where it counts. Now inject a Forbes ranking into that dynamic, and the resentment is in full bloom. The same players who preach women supporting women's are dead silent when one woman actually shatters the ceiling they all claimed was unbreakable.
I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque bounce passing. I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque two-handed, full court, touchdown pass kind of passing. The likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
The irony is delicious. The league cries for relevance, but when the solution finally arrives, they panic. Caitlin Clark is the growth. She's the living answer to every marketing problem the WNBA has had for 20 years. She's doing what entire PR teams couldn't, selling out venues, creating rivalries, and forcing people to care. Yet instead of studying her formula, others are too busy counting her endorsement checks. But here's the part that really cuts deep. Forbes didn't just rank her, they crowned her a force that's reshaping the sports industry. They wrote that Caitlin Clark's presence has shifted how fans and brands view women's sports. The translation? She's not part of the system. She is the system. She's redefining what success looks like in women's athletics. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver hinted at it, saying WNBA players will get more money this cycle, and they deserve it. Let's decode that. He's basically saying thank Caitlin Clark. Her impact is driving the dollars that make those negotiations possible.
But now you're going to cut down 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who has single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her? Record ratings. And now, in her very short WNBA career, shattering records.
Remember, this is the league that met her with calculated indifference after the draft, feigning she was just another player. Fast forward a year, and her face is the central pillar of every WNBA promo. That isn't a coincidence. It is survival. Her Forbes ranking isn't hype. It is poetic justice. What is truly remarkable is her response to it all. No drama, no diva theatrics, no public disputes. Just quiet, relentless dominance. And this is the very source of Angel Reese's fury. Caitlin does not have to scream to be heard. The world simply listens. While others manufacture relevance through controversy, Caitlin earns it through sheer consistency. She is rewriting history, one record, one headline, one endorsement at a time. This Forbes honor is not just a personal victory. It is a blueprint for every future athlete who aspires to true independence. She is proving that one can possess elite skill, market acumen, and genuine humility simultaneously, all while building an empire without the league's permission. She did not wait for validation. She manufactured it, and that is why the envy burns so intensely. Caitlin Clark did not enter the WNBA asking for a spotlight. She brought her own, and its wattage is so high it is blinding everyone who ever underestimated her.
Like, what are we doing and why? Please stop. Let's celebrate Caitlin Clark, celebrate her greatness, celebrate her courage to keep pushing through against people like you. Caitlin Clark, you go, girl. Don't listen to these people. Keep going strong. Most of us are normal and have your back.
The truth is this simple: the WNBA, and Angel Reese specifically, needs Caitlin far more than she needs them. She is the gravitational center for fans, the reason for brand investment, and the one athlete who single-handedly dictates ratings every time she plays. Fans embrace her authenticity. Sponsors bank on her reliability. The media profits from her virality. That is the trifecta of modern power, an equation even Forbes could not ignore. So when Forbes named her one of the world's 25 most powerful women, it was not a headline, it was a verdict, a final message to every player still peddling the overhyped narrative, a rebuke to every executive who once doubted her, and a final reality check for Angel Reese, who throws shade from the sidelines while Caitlin redefines the game's very rules. Caitlin Clark isn't just on Forbes' list, she is its central thesis. She's rewriting the definition of influence, redesigning the blueprint for women's sports, and proving that true power doesn't seek approval, it simply commands it. Love her or hate her, Caitlin's dominance is now officially a matter of record, and the WNBA, they can maintain their facade of indifference, but every silent scroll, every bitter tweet, every jealous glance serves as final irrefutable proof. Caitlin Clark is the new standard. Don't forget to show Caitlin some love in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss our analysis. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.